board this rubbish.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to Corona College of Education Public Lecture Series. Thank you all for joining.
And then you tune the background white.
Please, can we all mute our microphones? Please kindly mute your microphones. Thank you. So we'll be starting right about now. We're hoping we would have more people join us, but I guess they will join us during the course of the program. I'd like to welcome you all to the 9th edition of Corona College of Education Public Lecture. We'll start this event with the opening ceremony, and we'll be starting up with the national anthem and afterwards the Corona School anthem. We can sing along, we can turn on our cameras as we recite the national anthem and the Corona anthem.
To the Nigerian national anthem, Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new nation.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
The Corona School Anthem.
There's a thing. Break all down, may your wings spread above. Arise, around, rise and salute. Hail the ever high, sailing alma mater. Oh God, Lord, take over.
Thank you very much, everybody. Would like to welcome you again to the Corona College of Education Public Lecture Series. And today, I'll be moderating this event alongside my colleague. My name is Oluwatosin Akileyin, and with me,
My name
Moderate-
is Steve. My name is Stephen Ogunle, and once again, welcome to the 9th public lecture of the Corona College of Education. Yes, on that note, I would like to invite Dr. Ayodele Oyekola for the opening prayer. Over to you, Doctor.
Let us pray. O Lord God of heaven and earth, Lord, we thank you for the gift of life granted unto every one of us to be alive to see this day. Father, we praise your name, even for the successes recorded in the previous part.
we are sorry about that. Those are some of the challenges of the internet and technology, the use of technology. We would like to continue with the program with the opening ceremony by introducing our very special guest of honor today, and the person of our guest speaker, and that's Professor, sorry about that. Okay, that will be in the person of Professor Olatunde Salao, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Emmanuel Olayonde University of Education, Oyo State. And also with us present is our amiable chairman of Corona Schools Trust Council, the CEO, Mrs. Adeyoyin Adeshino, who happens to be the chairman of this event. You're welcome once more. Would like to recognize the presence of our hosts for this event. That's the Provost of Corona Schools Trust, Provost of Corona College of Education, in the person of Dr. Olajumoke Mekinlua. Also present with us are our invited guests who have taken out time out of their busy schedule to join us. The CSED Council members and members Corona Schools Trust Council. We recognize your presence. The Vice Chancellor, Pan-African University, Lekki, and also the Vice Chancellor of Lagos, University of Lagos, Akoka Ayaba. As the program goes on, we would recognize our invited guests as they join. We'd like to move on to the next agenda of this event, which is the welcome address by our Provost, Dr. Olajumoke Mekinlua. Provost Ma.
Thank you, Mrs. Akinleye. And good morning, everyone. I hope I can be heard very well. All right, thank you. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a delight to welcome you to this edition of the public lecture on behalf of the college management, staff and students of Corona College of Education, Lagos. I especially welcome also the chairman of today's lecture and program, who has been well introduced. That's the Chief Executive Officer of the Corona Schools Trust Council, Mrs. Adeyoni Adeshina. She doubles as my own boss. So you're welcome, ma'am. An introduction has also been given of the guest lecturer, Professor Olatunde Salau, who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Emmanuel Alayande University. I think it's not a university of education, it is a university in Oyo town, Oyo state. Eminent colleagues who are present here. I could see in the chat box a few persons from far and yonder. There's someone from Sokoto here, and others from the north, the south, the east, and colleagues from institutions within Lagos. You are all warmly recognized and welcome to this edition of the College Public Lecture Series. The college has had quite a number of public lectures and other academic lectures as well between 2021 to date, spanning topics such as entrepreneurship, security issues, and other topics about mental, emotional wellness, topics that are relevant to society and to education in particular. And each edition has always proved impactful, enlightening, and thought-provoking. So we are sure and we look forward to today's edition as well. It will be no different, and it will as well be engaging for all participants. The topic for today, as we all must have seen on the flyers, is digital transformation across Nigeria's educational landscape. Promises to be an interesting one. No doubt it's a relevant one as we all try to navigate the post-COVID times. One of the gains of COVID-19, no doubt, is that it's galvanized everybody into thinking of alternative ways to deliver education beyond the brick and mortar classrooms. How can we get learners to continue learning across all the divides, across distance, across space, across whatever kinds of gaps and distances that we have? So, you know, that's one of the gains we got from COVID-19. As an organization, the Corona Schools Trust Council, of which the college is a part, has always been a leader in the movement to embrace digital transformations, in education specifically. I mean, this is an organization that has withstood the test of time. We will be clocking 70 years by next year. At that age, we are certainly like a grandma in education. And so we have been able to build our strength, in the area of technology and how to deploy it in teaching and learning specifically. The Corona College of Education is not an exception. We have leveraged on the strength of the CSTC over the years of our own existence to also make sure that we embrace and deploy technology, digital platforms in teaching and learning, from the classroom to assessments and to every area of customer service and delivery. I dare say that CSED is a front runner, possibly the first and the only college of education in Nigeria today that has fully deployed technology in the area of online teaching and learning. As it is today, we have 2 postgraduate programs that are fully online, that are subscribed to not only by individuals within the country, but also by students, international students. We have students from far and near, from the far north of the country, from the southeast, as well as students from China, the UK, the USA, Rwanda, and all kinds of places internationally. So we are proud to say that we are running fast with that vision of digital transformation. And we're sure that even after today's lecture, we will continue to pick up speed and move at a faster rate. Just today in the Guardian newspaper of today, I read a headline that says that Nigerians in diaspora create new demands and income for teachers with e-learning. That was the headline, one of the headlines in the Guardian newspaper today. And I'm thinking that parents abroad, parents, in diaspora, are looking for how their children can be tutored by teachers from Nigeria. They are reaching out to teachers in the country, in Nigeria here, to put together content and curriculum that can be used to tutor their own children overseas. It might be in indigenous languages. Maybe they don't want to lose touch with Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or even in other subjects like math, English, and the rest of that. So that's a good one, opening different leeways for teachers in the country to also make extra money, possibly in hard currency. Again, by way of a teaser, I'm aware that the University of Lagos, that institution resumed just a couple of weeks back. And then they told all their learners, all the students, that they were going to migrate them all to the online platforms for teaching and learning, possibly for the rest of the semester. Again, that might not be without the different hiccups, hitches. I mean, we just had one on this program, so there will still be hiccups, hitches that organizations, institutions will have to contend with. And maybe again today, we will hear more of such solutions so that we can improve on how we do these things, with our students. I'm curious, for instance, to hear the lecturer interrogate questions such as this. 1, what are our current educational needs in the country? And how can technology or technologies be used as an enabler to meet those needs? Secondly, I'm curious to hear, with the advent of AI in all its shades and colors, what does this portend for education in Nigeria, and maybe globally, especially as we consider issues of integrity issues of cyber security and all of that. So these are questions we're hopeful to hear answers to. Maybe thirdly, what is the roadmap ahead of the nation as we embrace digitalization? I mean, with our current challenges of data, internet access, power issues, and all of that. So what's the roadmap ahead of us? Maybe finally, how can educational providers and leaders, whether they be government, whether they be state or federal government, whether they be private, school heads, proprietors, chief executive officers, how can we all own and drive digital transformation in the nation? How can we drive it? How can we be the drivers? How can we lend support to it, especially maybe in the public space, where government will make a lot of noise and then there will be little traction to back it up. So these are some of the questions that I'm hopeful to hear. And I'm sure at the end of the lecture, there will be many more questions for today's lecturer to engage with. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I wish us fruitful deliberations and happy listening, and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Provost Ma. Mr. Stephen Ogunleye.
We do appreciate your welcome address. Thank you, the Provost, Corona College of Education. It is therefore my pleasure to invite the Chairman, Mrs. Adedoyin Adeshina, CEO, Corona School Trust Council, for our opening remarks.
Points of correction, please, Mr. Ogunleye. You are inviting the Chief Executive Officer of the Corona Schools Trust Council, Mrs. Adedoyin Adeshina. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Provost. I'm not averse to the elevation, as it were. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, esteemed speaker, Professor Tunde Salau, academia, students, colleagues, and all participants. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be called upon to chair today's public lecture, a vital event in the continuous efforts of Corona College of Education to stimulate discussions around the future of education in Nigeria. And the Provost has spearheaded these with quite a number of thought-provoking issues and questions that are contemporary, that are relevant, and that I hope that we will, in our engagement, come up with some forward action plans as we progress on digital transformation, especially in the education space in Nigeria. I believe that what the college is doing and has done for the 9th session now, I believe, stands as a testament to the unwavering commitment to driving a progressive and sustainable change in the educational sector. That's what we believe, and it's a driving force here in Corona. The theme of today's lecture, Embracing Digital Transformation Across Nigeria's Educational Landscape, is particularly timely and significant. In an era characterized by rapid technological advancements, the education sector must adapt and innovate to meet the evolving needs of students and society. More so with the description of the millennials, the Gen Zs, the Generation Alpha, and all of these young and upcoming generation as digital natives. It brings to mind something I have heard Professor Ajiboye, the Registrar and Chief Executive of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. I've heard him say this a couple of times, in addressing fresh entrants into the education sector, that it's often said that technology will replace quite a number of careers and occupations. And in his words, he says, technology cannot replace teachers, but teachers who cannot use technology will be replaced by tech-savvy teachers. And I guess that makes our discussion today more poignant. Rapid technological advancements definitely have transformed various industries, and the education sector cannot afford to lag. Digital transformation offers immense potential to enhance learning outcomes, foster greater collaboration, bridge the digital divide, and ensure that Nigeria's education system remains competitive on a global stage. We are happy that we have the testimony of students in our college from other parts of the world. And I'm sure one of the things that would be done very easily would be to compare the value of what they are getting with what is available where they are. But suffice to say that we're able to provide education for them on an online platform. That makes it all the more noteworthy and credit-worthy of the Corona College of Education. By incorporating technology into our classrooms, we can provide our students with the skills and knowledge that they need to thrive in the 21st century. It amounts to a systemic shift in the way that we approach education. I'll go as far as to say not just a systemic shift, but even a disruption in the way, in the education that we provide. I have a slide that shows just a one slide that shows, and talks about the kind of disruption that we expect from digital transformation. It shows digitization as conversion to digital format, digitalization, the use of digital technologies, and this is rife in the industry now, in many industries, even in the education industries. But I believe that what we are talking about would be more of disruptive change, a transformation. And so when we talk about digital transformation, we are looking to see disruptive change. And I'm hoping that as we continue in the lecture today, we will galvanize discussions, we will foster among educators, policymakers, and to drive sustainable in the educational sector and provide value and inspire us to embrace digital as a catalyst of progress. I'm really excited to hear speaker, Professor Tunde's experience in technology will surely provide valuable insights into how we can adopt digital solutions to bridge gaps, to provide solutions, to provide better educational outcomes, improve educational outcomes across the nation. As we embark on this intellectual journey together, let's all keep an open mind. Let us explore the possibilities of digital transformation and its impact on Nigeria's educational landscape, and think how each of us can play a role in ensuring that the future of education is inclusive, competitive, and ladies and gentlemen, my great honor to as I wish us all and productive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, CEO ma'am. It's an honor to have you with us share this event. We would like to also recognize, before we go on, we'd like to recognize the presence of Dr. Isaac Miller, Acting Provost, Federal College of Education, Akoka. Also present with us is Dr. Rahim Sikiru Burakinyo, Head, Department of Biology and Integrated Science, Emmanuel Olayode, University of Education, Oyo State. So would like to go on with the citation of our guest lecturer. And before we read the citation, as we were sending out the notification for the public lecture, we got quite a number of feedback from students of our guest lecturer for today, and the accolades were high. With the, oh, he was my best lecturer in university, he was my best lecturer at PGD class, he was my best lecturer. And so I'm looking forward to sitting through this lecture today and also attesting to those accolades. Ms. Nora Jegedema would like you to take the citation.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Akinlei. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I read the profile of Professor Ibrahim Olatunde Salau. Professor Ibrahim Olatunde Salau is a distinguished scholar and leader in the field of educational technology, with decades of invaluable experience in advancing open and distance learning. Professor Salau holds a PhD from the University of Ibadan and a postgraduate diploma in distance education from India's Indira Gandhi National Open University. His academic journey and contribution to institutions such as the National Open University of Nigeria now are nothing short of remarkable. A pioneer in integrating technology within educational frameworks, Professor Salau has published widely on instructional media, technology-enhanced learning, and the impact of open and distance learning, ODL, on teacher education. He delivered now 8 inaugural lecture in 2015 on educational technology in teacher education and distance learning, the facts, the puzzles, and the remedies, emphasizing the transformative potential of educational technology for teacher preparation. His written works, including books such as Essentials of Educational Technology, An Introduction to Educational Technology, and Micro-Teaching, Theory and Practice, have significantly influenced educational resources for Nigerian educators. Beyond this published research, Professor Salau has played an instrumental role in program development, quality assurance, and curriculum innovation. Now, his leadership has earned him national and international recognition, including the Commonwealth of Learning Scholarship and the Nation Builder Award. His expertise is sought as an assessor for professorial candidates and as a quality assurance expert across Nigerian universities, underscoring his dedication to educational excellence. Professor Salau's career is a testament to his commitment to education, technology, and continuous learning. We are honored to have him with us today, sharing his insights into the evolving field of educational technology. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we welcome Professor Ibrahim Olatunde Salau. I yield the floor to you, sir. Welcome, sir.
You're muted, Prof. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, apologies, everyone. Those are one of the challenges that we face with technology. our guest speaker will join us back. I guess the network must have gone off on his side. While we wait for him to join the meeting, I'd like to recognize the presence of Miriam Ibrahim El Yakub, all the way from Saudatu Rimi College of Education, Kano. Also with us is Dr. Abiodun Ezekiel Adeshino from Emmanuel Olayande University of Education, Oyo, Nigeria. Would also like to remind us that Corona College of Education is 10 years this year, and we celebrated our 10th anniversary alongside our convocation. Also, the household that has produced this great institution, the Corona Schools Trust Council, will be clocking 70 next year, and celebrations have started in June. Yeah. You can join us, see our events or planned out for the year on our social media channel. And for those of us that joined this program from the beginning, we can access recorded version on our YouTube channel. All you just have to do is click on Corona College of Education on YouTube to get access to the recordings of this public lecture and of the different various public lecture series we've had before now. Dr. Sir, are you back? Oh, Prof, Sir, are you back? Okay, while we wait for the issues to be resolved, we'd like to take you through our programs that we run at the College of Education. We run the NCE program, that's the Nigerian Certificate in Education program. And we also run the PDE, that's the Professional Diploma in Education program, which we have the online option and the on-site option. We have the Professional Diploma in Early Childhood Care, and that program is run online as well. And we have the Professional Diploma in Education Leadership and Management, which runs online as well. Due to the present hiking well and all that, we know probably transporting or moving around will be a challenge. So our programs are all online, and we can access those programs and register for the program. So don't hesitate to visit our websites, our social media pages, and get full details of the different programs we offer. We also, as the provost mentioned earlier, we have students on our program from all over the world, from the US, UK, Canada, and quite a number of African countries, as well as all over Lagos and Nigeria at large. So please do well to visit our social media page and get information on the programs we run. Please bear with us as we try to fix the issue.
I think sorry, Mrs. Akinleye, Professor Salau is already on the call. Yes, he's on the call. So do you need to unmute him because he's still muted, but his video is enabled?
Okay, so Mr. Olonipe, please, can you unmute?
We can.
Okay, please unmute him.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Okay, fantastic. You're back. Welcome back, sir. Okay, Prof, sir. You have the floor, sir.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Give me a second. Morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here with us today. And I want to start by leaning on the existing protocol being established. However, I feel it is necessary for me to recognize and thank 2 or 3 individuals for the opportunity given to me by being the guest lecturer for today, talking about an interesting theme, let's say topic, embracing digital transformation across Nigeria's educational landscape. I want to thank whoever must have suggested my name to the organizers, to the management of the college. And by extension, I also want to thank management for accepting my nomination and for granting me the opportunity to present the 9th public lecture of the famous and esteemed Corona College of Education, Lagos, Nigeria. I want to thank the organizers, the LOCs too, for the efforts in contacting me almost once in a week since the first call inviting me to be the guest lecturer came in some 3 months ago. So I thank everybody for the efforts. Like I said, I want to lean on the existing protocol because of time factor. As part of my preamble, in the last 10 years, there have been conscious attempts by every nation to integrate digital tools into their educational system. And Nigeria is no exception. We've just passed through a nasty experience of COVID-19. No nation was exempted, either developed, undeveloped, or whatever term you want to use. The devastating effect of COVID-19 has taught us a great lesson. Schools were closed down. Pupils didn't go to school. Industries were closed down. But to us in education, we found ourselves in a crisis situation, thinking of how best to deal with the surge of the COVID-19. However, if we take a brief historical trips of educational technology and relating it to the topic at hand, it will not be out of place for us to note that transformation is not just starting now. It is an age-long concept and educational system, and indeed educational technology, both in terms of technology in and technology of, have actually witnessed a long history of transformation. I want to recall that right from the Stone Age era, when technology was in its crudest form. I hope you are hearing me. Hello?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. I made reference to the Stone Age era, when technology was in its crudest form. Stones, pebbles, sticks, and technological tools that you never can touch of were used to depict concepts. And I want to make reference to one or two reminiscences. You will recall that era when our parents engaged, our parents, especially those in the villages, engaged in daily contributions. My mother was a partaker of that kind of experience. And I did remember what transpired that time. Each day, the money collector came to our house. She would take my mother, despite the fact that she cannot read, neither can she write. She would take her to the wall and use charcoal to make strokes. And you know, honesty was at its best at that period of time. They will make strokes so as to concretize the daily contribution. And at the end of the month, they will just go to that wall and start counting the number of strokes, indicating the number of times my mom contributed, in the daily contribution. That is to tell us that this thing we call transformation and use of tools didn't just start now. And I also want to make us flashback into what transpired during what happened in the two major cities in Greece, Athens and Sparta. You know, those were the era when those we call the sophists operated. They were moving from, the sophists were modern day philosophers. They were moving from one house of a rich individual or rich individuals within their community, teaching them how to read and how to write, teaching them philosophy and things like that. That era transformed into the development of blackboard, which we now call chalkboard or whiteboard or interactive board of modern day time. You see, the point I'm trying to make is that technology is not just starting now. It is a thing that we've been having long time ago. And of course, the development of the chalkboard, then blackboard, was as a result of many people interested in assessing education. And there was a need for them to converge in places. And so it became obvious that there was a need for the teacher then to have something that could be used in order to arouse the interest of the pupils, and also something to serve as the central point of focus for the learners. And so the blackboard, now chalkboard or interactive board, was invented. And it went just on and on until in the 15th century, when Johann Gutenberg developed the printing machine. With the printing machine, what happened? Teachers who were at that time laying claim to be the only ones that can monopolize, dissemination of knowledge, that monopoly got broken because books were printed and distributed far and wide. And so individuals who were interested in education had the opportunity, even at their own homes, to get education and to get being educated. And the technology advancement was moved to the era known as the mass communication era. This was the time at which the television was invented, the radio was invented, and of course, we are all living witnesses to the advantages that we are making from the invention of the radio and the television. And of course, these days, we talk of digital era. And with digitalization and the internet technology, web technology, we got into a point at which we don't have any choice than to accept the fact, like the CEO quoting Professor Ajiboye, that yes, those teachers who don't make efforts, deliberate efforts, to accept reality of the fact that they need to become acquainted, to become literate, to become competent in handling technology tools, they will leave the system, not even because government will want to lay them off, but because of the fact that they will sooner or later realize that their services are not needed in our school system. Having said this, I want to believe that digital transformation has come to stay. And the reality is that we should make efforts to see how we can assist ourselves, assist the system, assist the individual teachers to acquire fundamental knowledge, competency, skills to actually maximize digital tools in our various schools. There are some things, there are some terms that I want to clarify. Digital transformation, you want to ask what it is. Digital transformation is the integration of digital technology into all areas of education, fundamentally changing how educational institutions operate and deliver value. When we say all areas of education, we should not look at it from the narrow perspective of thinking that what we do in the classroom summarizes everything that we do in the school system. In the school system, we manage. In the school system, we teach. In the school system, we enter into deliberate infusion of discipline into our pupils. In the school system, we engage ourselves in those things that will make our pupils not only relevant to the 21st century, but those things that they need to acquire in terms of knowledge, in terms of skills, that will make them to compete favorably with their counterparts anywhere in the world. The next question you want to ask is, why digital transformation? Digital transformation has its values. There are so many inherent advantages that will compel any system to thinking of embarking on digitalization. One, through digital transformation, learning experiences are provided. Learning experiences, you will agree with me that we have varieties of learners, and each one with his or her own peculiar ways by which learning becomes, by which the content put into him to learn is best learned. And that is why we say no two individuals are alike. And if no two individuals are alike, the implication is that how can you have two individuals learning the same way, the same thing, and having the same degree of mastery of the content that we are putting across to them? And so, through digitalization, because it provides a lot of varieties of ways by which learning content can be presented to learners, it guarantees mastery of those things you want them to learn, those keys you want them to acquire, the attitude you want to see in them. And of course, through digital transformation, through acceptance of digitalization, through integration of digitalization, administrative efficiency is guaranteed. These days, there are lots and lots and lots of factors that can actually call for an administrator, seasoned one for that matter, to have no choice than to integrate technology into administrative business. Data are needed, strategies are needed, decisions are expected to be made. Individuals are outside there waiting for the results of the students. Parents are there, ministry officials are there, government is there, the school proprietors are there, the learners themselves are there. And so it is now much more expected of an administrator to see himself or herself as having to be up and doing in terms of what information he aggregates and the timing of presentation of the information to the stakeholders. These can best be handled by resorting to integration of technology. Through technology, it guarantees that information to be disseminated will be objective. Information to be presented will be based on facts. And of course, the cost effectiveness of it will be guaranteed. And other related things that have to do with administration. Digital transformation also prepares students for digital economy. I have just said it, that the best we can offer our students these days is to prepare them for digital economy. There are lots of economic activities that can be gotten through mastery, through integration of technology. Gone are those days when we teach our pupils in one direction. These days, thousands, several millions of ways by which acceptance and integration of digitalization can assist our learners to actually engage them in various activities related to digital economy. And of course, any school that wants to be relevant must prepare for competition. And one key area where it is certainly obvious for operators of schools, administrators of schools, to get themselves prepared for is integration of technology. All accreditation agencies will want to see, assess, evaluate how strong a school is in terms of acceptability, integration, practice, adoption, adapting technology into the various aspects of the school system. Let's briefly take a look at Nigeria's digital adoption trends from 2020 to 2024. It is heartwarming to note the following details, that in terms of mobile subscriptions, 219 million individuals from 2020 to 2024. And in terms of broadband usage, it was reported that Nigeria has achieved 43.5% broadband penetration in 2024. And in terms of technology and in terms of embracing technology, Nigerian institutions has increasingly adopting digital technologies. But there is a gap. The gap has to do with the fact that there is still the challenge limiting integration and also equitable access to digital technology. Embracing digital transformation. To embrace digital transformation in enhancing quality, there is the need for integrating technology tools in our educational systems. And technology integration is to be seen as the use of technology tools in general content areas of education in order to allow students to apply computer and technology skills to learning problem solving. There are several Hello.
Hello, sir.
Are you hearing me, please?
Hello, sir.
But you went off.
No, it's breaking intermediate.
Oh. Okay, did you hear me up to the point at which I started talking about the technology tools that teachers and learners should be familiar with?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Thank you.
That point.
Now, thank you. On the screen, I have a good number of technology tools that teachers and learners are expected to be familiar with. We have the Seesaw, the Nearpod, the Venngage, the EduBlocks, the Edmodo, and so on and so forth. And of course, I must include the social media because we have gotten to a point at which social media is now being used effectively. And I want to emphasize that effectively by individual lecturers and by institutions to actually deliver instructional content. And that's a very good way to go. Telegram is now being used. WhatsApp is now being used. There are lots of films, videos on the YouTube for students and teachers to watch and learn from. And also the integration of LMS is something that is being sought for and being integrated in most of the schools, tertiary institutions in Nigeria. But I must say that while this is the situation in tertiary institutions, we are not witnessing this at the primary school level. And not much of this is being done in our secondary school level. And this should give us a concern because they say catch them young. And of course, if this aspect of integration of technology at primary and secondary school is not considered as being paramount, is left unattended to, is not given adequate attention as expected, then we are in a serious problem. Because it is easier for us to implant in these younger ones the concept of technology integration. Also, when we see them as those who are born into technology, they are our future potential users of technology. If we, who are regarded as migrants into technology, are emphasizing its use, whatever it takes, it will take to actually encourage them to what will assist public schools, especially, to accept that reality by involving government, individuals, as well as other stakeholders in assisting public and primary schools to getting them better prepared to accept this reality. We have gradually moved into the era of artificial intelligence. This is the latest technology with the potential to transform education. We cannot run away from this. Artificial intelligence can bridge educational gaps. It can improve efficiency, and it can foster inclusivity in Nigeria's educational institutions. It can drive forward the digital transformation across the nation's learning landscape. assessment. And the use of Turnitin and Gradescope, these are good examples of ways by which assessment and grading and assessment are being integrated. AI tutors and assistants is also a good example of artificial intelligence being used in the educational system. And of course, we also have classroom management tools, such as the Classcraft and the Line School. We should note that in Nigeria, we are making headways. We now have reliable. Hello, are you hearing me, please?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. In Nigeria today, I'm happy to remark that we are having a good number of Nigerian business people entering into educational sector and providing services that are geared towards technology integration. We now have our local indigenous businessmen moving about, selling their products that can actually lead to integration of LMS. School fees are now being collected using technology. Assessments are now being done using technology. And a lot of activities. In fact, in our library system, we now have a lot of activities which are naturally being done, using local ways, using manual technologies. But these days, we now have ways by which our libraries are now being operated through the use of online. And so services are now being provided online. Cataloging is now being done using technology. Information dissemination is now being done using technology. Turnitin is now being done using technology. Editing is now being done using technology. And a lot of activities which are being engaged prior to this time manually are now transforming into technological ways of handling them. Let's consider ways of integrating technology into educational system. Digital learning platforms, like we have the e-learning platforms in terms of learning management systems, LMS, virtual classrooms, and blended learning. This has to do with combination of online and face-to-face education. I must say this, that this is where we are, and this is where we are going. We are now presenting learning from these two major modes of instructional delivery, virtual and blended learning. Like I said, this is a combination of online and face-to-face education. The provost of Corona College has just informed us that there are some online courses being made available to subscribers, not only within Nigeria, but globally. People are subscribing to it. But as it is done that way, in a situation whereby we also have the opportunity of providing face-to-face, the two can be combined to enhance, much more effective instructional delivery. There are certain things that we want to ascribe to online learning. So they say online learning in some ways is efficient in terms of having the feelings of students, students are not having the opportunity of having the direct face-to-face contact with their teachers. But there are ways by which this one too is being tackled, because we now talk of interactive virtual classrooms. Interactive virtual classrooms allow students to ask questions, allows them to see the teacher, allows them to participate in forum, they chat, they exchange ideas, they exchange information, and it gives a kind of direct and purposeful experience. But it is quite possible, like I said, to have the instructional content being delivered through online and also through face-to-face being combined. We now have digital assessment tools like online exams, quizzes, automated grading. These can be built into LMS. The LMS package can be done in a way as to provide for online exams, quizzes, and automated grading system. This can be done. And if you are talking of transformation, this is the stage, the level at which we are now. And we just have to accept the reality of this. People have some reservations for digital assessment, virtual assessment, by looking at issues of cheating. They say students can cheat, students can bring in some contrabands in quote. They can have an advantage of not being supervised by live supervisors. But this belief has been proved to be wrong. I must say this. At the National Open University of Nigeria, we have deployed online e-exams. And I want to tell you that it all depends on what you want. If you design the online exam in a way as to allow for students to cheat, so be it. But if the online exam is designed as not to allow the students to cheat, sincerely yours, you can achieve it. And now, any students who opts, we give it as a kind of option. If you want to go for online exams, e-exams, you can. If you want to write pen on paper, you can. But from our experience, you will not believe it that those who have been caught, try to play pranks through online exams, they are quite substantive. And of course, even when you give assignments, those who use AI, artificial intelligence, to assist them in answering the questions, what we call tutor marked assignments, we also track them and we are able to get them. And they paid heavily for the practice. And the point I'm making is that that is what assessment has been transformed into in terms of modernization. And we have to accept that. I am not saying that we should do away completely with pen on paper. Of course, there are reasons why pen on paper should still be considered as a very strong way of assessing our students in terms of, giving them the opportunity to express themselves, giving them the opportunity to organize themselves, to organize their thoughts, to put their thoughts on paper and things like that. Data-driven decision-making. Analytics for tracking student progress and institutional performance are also key components of digital transformation. These days, we talk of information analytics. We need information. We need data to assist us take informed decisions. Our integration of digital technology will assist us a lot in getting reliable, unbiased, unsubjective, objective data on which informed decisions can be taken. And of course, in the aspect of administration, efficient systems for record management, communication, and collaboration can also be guaranteed and is recognized as one major key element of digital transformation. What are the benefits for Nigeria's educational landscape? The adoption of digital education has some inherent benefits. And this is not only for the students, it asks for educators and it asks for institutions too. Let me mention one or two of these benefits. For the students, it encourages personalized learning experiences. I've said it during the course of my presentation that what educators should aim at is to individualize instruction. You can only succeed at individualizing instruction through the adoption of strategies that can guarantee this. Individuals should learn in the way and manner in which he or she wants. No two individuals are alike. Even twins, they differ in some respects. And so, if we integrate technology, those who want to learn through the use of text can do that. Those who want to learn through the use of synchronous integration of technology can do it. Those who want to learn through the introduction of asynchronous technology can do it. Those who want to learn through the use of combination of both can equally do it. And so, integration of technology would guarantee personalized learning experiences. And of course, when individuals learn on their own, they are given the opportunity to react to the learning content in a way by which they send in their areas of their problematic areas where they consider as difficult, which of course may differ from one person to another. And of course, it also increased access to diverse resources because technology tools guarantees possibility of making use of multimedia. Multimedia in its own has the advantages of having some peculiar features, such as text, video, animation, simulation, and a lot of other, attributes, which of course will enable students to access the content through various and diverse resources. And of course, integration of technology will also guarantee the development of the 21st century skills in the learners. And what are these skills? Critical thinking, collaboration, and digital literacy. To the educators, integration of technology will guarantee efficient teaching methods. I want to add that it will not only guarantee efficient teaching methods, it will equally guarantee effective teaching. A teacher can be efficient, and his teaching may not produce the desired outcomes. In other words, in terms of effectiveness, an efficient teacher may not succeed at guaranteeing effective outcome. And what we want in education is an educational system that will not only guarantee efficiency, but also effectiveness. And in addition to this, more resources and tools for instructional design and implementation are made available to the teachers or educators. For institutions, if you consider the cost-benefit analysis of integrating technology, it will assist the institution a lot. I must say that to integrate technology involves a lot of money. It involves a lot of financial involvement. Is it in terms of getting the gadgets available? Is it in terms of preparing a learning environment? Is it in terms of training teachers? Is it in terms of acquiring the softwares? Is it in terms of employing savvy personnel that will handle it? In all this, it costs a lot. However, if you aggregate the benefits of integration of technology, we still want to give it that it will, at the end of the day, benefit the institutions that adopt and practice it. And of course, it also improves communication and transparency in the way we deal with issues relating to management of the schools. I want to make reference to some few successful case studies of integration of technology into our practice as institutions. As of 2024, Nigeria has over 500 tertiary institutions across various categories. However, only a few of them have embraced digital innovation to the level at which they are being recognized. I don't want my audience to misinterpret what I am saying here. I am not saying that tertiary institutions are not making efforts. We have a good number of tertiary institutions. And when I say tertiary institutions, I am not limiting myself to institutions, universities. School of Nursing, School of Agric, and the likes are noted as tertiary institutions. But the point one is making is that only a few of them have actually embraced the child. And when I say only a few of them, I mean only a few of them have deliberately not accepting technology just for the fun of it. They have policy that is driving the acceptance. They have enabling environment. They have individuals that are driving it. They have a way by monitoring it. They have a way by which they are committing their resources, heavy resources, into it, to the extent that if you ask them the percentage of the finances being deployed into technology enhancement, it will surprise us to hear them saying not less than 60% of their IGRs, not less than 50% of whatever accrues to the institution is being deployed into technology. Some of these Nigerian institutions that are making strides in digital transformation include University of Ibadan, especially the e-learning initiative of the university. Of course, the National Open University of Nigeria. This is a university that is being driven both in its various activities and at all levels by technology. Is it in terms of administration? Is it in terms of teaching and learning? Is it in terms of examinations? Is it in terms of talk of any aspect? And in terms of delivery of the content, I think National Open University of Nigeria is being recognized not just because I am from there, but because of what they have been doing. ABU Zaria also is being included. The University of Lagos is being included, and private schools that have adopted EdTech solutions include the Covenant University, which of course has been recognized internationally as one of the leading universities, if not in the world, at least in Africa. And of course, our host institution, Corona College of Education, among others. Current state of digital adoption in Nigeria. Overview. I want to look at this by giving a summary of what the status of adoption of digital technology is in Nigeria. One, limited digital infrastructure is in the rural areas. And what am I saying? Whereas in urban schools, even where the adoption or adaptation of digital technologies is still not being significant, it is noteworthy that in our rural areas, not much attention is being given to presence of digital infrastructure. And of course, like I said earlier at the introductory stage, that there is increasing access to mobile internet. There is gradual implementation of digital tools in urban centers. And like I said, it is slower in rural areas. There are a lot of challenges, among which are lack of access to stable power supply and the problem of having uninterrupted internet and bandwidth are obvious challenge that we are having. Insufficient digital literacy among teachers and students. This is a critical problem. Even where you have institutional proprietors, governments, stakeholders making efforts to inject a bit of digital technology, you notice that teachers, lecturers are not eager to accept the reality. But this is not something that should not be expected. our knowledge of innovation, our knowledge of change theory informs us that we should not expect that a good percentage of teachers as well as students will accept the reality. There are some who will not want to accept it at all. There are some who will accept it in principle, but will not want to practice it. There are some who will accept it in principle and be slow at catching up. And there are some who will be eager and be committed. In fact, to the extent of spending their little meager to procure computers and the accessories to making use of the digital technologies. Students on their own can be easily assisted to, be part of the vanguard to accepting the reality of digital technology. They are not digital migrants. They are born into it, and assisting them, like I'm going to talk about it later, will assist us a lot in solving the challenge. There is a digital divide, like I said earlier. It needs to be re-emphasized that there is a digital divide as you have it between the developed and the developing countries. You also have, or we can talk of digital divide between the urban and the rural setting. And of course, there is low investment in educational technology. All these are some of the problems that we have. Let me quickly move into some of the future predictions, the future of digital transformation in Nigeria. I want to predict that there's going to be increased hybrid and online education in Nigeria. This is not just a statement that is just coming from somebody who is daydreaming. Rather, we don't have a choice. And if this actually made reference to when she was about concluding in her opening remarks in the various questions which she posed that the national needs. Well, from the national needs, even before now, we have been able as a nation to establish, to identify, established, and integrate our needs. Hello, please, I hope you are hearing me.
You went off for a bit, sir.
Sorry, I am back.
You're quiet for a bit, sir.
Yeah, welcome, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Thank you. I'm
Can hear
sorry.
you.
I'm back. Okay. Thank you. So increase hybrid, I said, this is a thing that we should expect because at the national level, at the state level, at the curriculum level, at the course level, we have identified our needs. Our needs at the national level has been subsumed into the curriculum. The curriculum is being broken down into courses. Courses are being broken down into topics, and topics are now being managed at the classroom level. And so the reality on ground is that dealing with these various and varied topics calls for integration of technology, more widespread use of AI in AI learning tools. I want to predict that in the next 5-10 years, there'll be more widespread use of AI in learning tools. AI is a tool, is a technology that has come, it's been adopted in other fields, other sectors. Education cannot but accept it as a reality. Even if we are still battling with how to produce our own robots, we have no choice than to buy into it and make use of the available AI tools. In educational technology, we recognize this as we say instructional design by design and instructional design by technology. Instructional tools by utilization. If you don't accept it as a reality, we'll just be deceiving ourselves. And there's going to be greater focus on cybersecurity in educational systems. We need to protect our data. We need to generate data. The data being generated must be secured, and there must be ways by which emphasis is being focused on this in the nearest future. And this nearest future I'm talking about 5-10 years' time. Opportunities. I also feel that future generations of Nigerians will have the potentials and opportunities of being equipped with global digital economy, and that we will also have the opportunity of bridging educational gaps through technology than we have it today. To have access to inclusive education, the following are things that we need to also put into consideration in our efforts at integrating technology. Curriculum integration is essential. We need to think of quality assurance. In other words, it is essential for digital integration to think of how to quality assure the content and to quality assure what we are giving at the technology that we want to use. And I'm suggesting that the technology that we need to integrate must be based on our knowledge of appropriate technology. Appropriate technology. If social media, for instance, almost everybody can chat. Almost everybody is on a Telegram. If, for some obvious reasons, finance and whatever, we find it difficult to integrate high-tech technology into our operations in the school system, we should look at those ones that we believe we can conveniently integrate, and we can now migrate from that point to high-tech rather than not using anyone at all. Now, there's a need for relevance of the technology we want to adopt to societal needs. Educational system must address societal challenges. Otherwise, we'll be educating out of the need of society, and that will be suicidal. We need to practice educational system that is going to address societal needs rather than addressing issues that will not be of benefit, immediate or future benefit to our society. And of course, there should be increased government investment. I expect that in the next picture, there's likely to be increased government investment in digital infrastructure. This is crucial for crucial progress to be made in the integration of technology. And I also want to see more of public-private partnership. Collaboration with private tech companies will enhance educational resources and technology accessibility. This is essential. We need to partner with them. Otherwise, it will be difficult for us to get to the point at which we'll be comfortable in the integration of technology. And of course, there is a need for continuous training of educators. Teachers must be trained in various aspects of technology. We need also to train those that are managing our LMS and other technology auxiliaries in a way as to make them realize the fact that technology is not static. Like I have said in the introductory part of this lecture, technology is not static. If there's anything that is not static, that aspect of our life now is technology. Before you know what is happening, what you consider as innovation of today, by tomorrow, it becomes stale. And because technology keeps coming, and if care is not taken, we need to train people that will be comfortable enough to utilizing it. By way of conclusion, digital transformation is the key to modernizing Nigeria's educational system and making it more inclusive, efficient, and capable of preparing students for a rapidly changing world is essential. Hence, stakeholders in education are expected to collaborate to invest in digital infrastructure, training, and policies that foster digital learning. I want to end my presentation by first making reference to what John Dewey, that great philosopher, said. He said, if we teach today, if we embark on what we call teaching today, as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. And conclusively, on the final note, I'm presenting to you this famous model of technology integration. This model is famous. You can Google it. It's not mine. You can Google it. It's called TPAC model of technology integration. And it has three major components, which, of course, informs us that we need to think of technology knowledge. We need to think of technology content knowledge. We need to think of content knowledge. And we need to think of pedagogical knowledge. All these three aspects need to interact if actually we are serious at the business of integrating technology. And on this note, I want to thank you for your rapt attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was an awesome presentation. And we will all agree with me that it was very informative, it was enlightening, it was insightful, and we'll be going away with so much. It was interesting. The history of technology part was interesting for me, and I'll be going away with also the history as well as the investments, partnership, and collaboration with government and private tech companies. And also the training bit also, which Corona schools is big on. Because if you ask me, and I'll tell you the secret of Corona schools, why Corona has stood the test of time and is celebrating 70 next year, is all about training, retraining, and training of our staff members. So I'm sure some of us have take homes. I'm sure some of us have our questions, and we would like to take questions. If you would like to speak, kindly indicate with your virtual hands. There is a button on our screen that has a reaction. You can click on it and indicate with your virtual hands. And for those that would like to type, you can type your questions in the chat box. We'll have Dr. Mike Dike read the questions. For those of us watching us on YouTube, kindly like, follow, and share as well. And you can type your questions there as well. We'll be taking questions and comments, contributions. But please try as much as possible to be brief. So please, let's have your questions. Dr. Mike Dike, over to you, sir.
Thank you, my prof. That was wonderful. It was highly educative, informative. We have a lot of us, we have questions, please. Let it be brief. For 30 seconds, please, if you have the opportunity to type on our chat box, please, you can do so. We definitely read it out for Prof to respond to. Oje, kindly unmute yourself. 30 seconds, please. 30 seconds. Elizabeth Oje.
Sorry, you mean Ebenezer OJ?
Ebenezer
OJ, yeah, OJ.
Ebenezer OJ.
Okay, thank you very much.
Please,
I want
30
to...
seconds, please.
Okay. Thanks, Prof, for the enlightenment. Thank you for the delivery. My question borders on effect of technology adoption on the development of some critical skills in students, especially those in practical field. Like myself, I'm an artist, and I've observed over the years that there are some critical skills that our students should have, but adoption of digital technology now is now making these students to become like a Desica. They now so much rely on digital technology, and I'm observing that critical skills that they should imbibe, they don't have it again. So how can we guide against this over-dependence on technology, you know, and then encourage the use of, you know, traditional ways of teaching, especially the practical aspect like art, so that the students don't lose development of that aspect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ebenezer.
Prof, sir, would you
Because-
like to take a response?
It all depends.
To that
It all
question.
depends. It all depends. You want me to react to questions?
Would
as
you
they
like to
come?
respond to the question, sir?
No, why not? Why not? Well, I want to thank, I don't know if it's a doctor, professor, Ebenezer, or Mr. OJ.
Well, Mr.
Thank you
OJ
for
for now, sir.
Mr. OJ, that's good. Thank you for the question. You see, like we have said, because of this discussion, we are battling with reality. And the reality is that we cannot do away with technology. And we should be mindful of what the quotation of John Dewey, that if we teach today the way we taught yesterday, we are going to deprive the future generation of where they ought to be. I am happy noting that the scenario you have presented is expected. The scenario is reflecting what is the expectation in these modern times, that the students are prone to digital technologies to the extent that the teachers are now feeling that what they ought to know, what the students ought to know, through the use of traditional methods, they are missing. That shouldn't be. We, the instructors, the teachers, there is hardly anything that we can think of that we do manually that cannot be handled technologically. And you will note that in the course of my presentation, I said, and I even emphasized it, that blended learning is a practicable approach. Allow these individuals, these students, to learn using online virtual classroom environments, while at the same time, give them the opportunity of face-to-face. And of course, those things you want to teach them face-to-face, I want to believe can equally be transformed into digital environment. While the teachers, the fine art teachers and the likes, may not have the capability or potentials of having to put those keys, online. You can teamwork. You can get individuals who you can work with, technological, expertise that you can, this is what I want, this is what I have in mind. And of course, instructions leading to doing these things, physically can be gotten in the way you are packaged instruction online. Making is by the time you make use of CorelDRAW, you make use of some other packages, and you align your learners into this, the two of you must be able to get a way out of the problem. We should not desist from encouraging them, but it is now left for we, the teachers, to think out of the box in terms of how, is it cognitive domain that you are thinking of? Even affective domain, that is the most important domain of learning that is most difficult to teach. Yet, if we sit back and we do the proper designing of the instruction, technology will have a way of assisting us to putting it across to the learners. That is the way I think it should go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, I have to read out so that Prof will be able to answer. We have some questions on the chat box, and we also have questions on from our YouTube channel. Let me start with YouTube from Abiodun Adeshino. I don't know if it's Mr. Dr. Professor. From Abiodun Adeshino, and the person is saying, can digitalization be entrenched in primary education with policy constraints on mobile technology and AI issues in primary education? That is from either Mr. Dr. or Professor Abiodun Adeshino. We also have from our YouTube channel, Miss Oloyede CSO. How can individual and institutions be helped as regards the state of power supply, as alternate source of power are quite expensive? So how can we achieve cost efficiency? These are from our chat box. And also we have somebody, also iPhone, we don't have the name. Please, if you can be able to change the icon, the name to what we can be able to announce. So before we do that, let Prof respond to the questions. Thank you. Over to you, Prof. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctors Adeshina and Oloyede. See, the question of Dr. Oloyede Adeshina on the possibility of integrating ICT, digitalization at primary school level. My response is yes, it is quite possible. Very, very possible. And of course, if you talk of, catch them young, I think it is better at that level. If a child is able to collect the phone from his mom or the dad at home and uses it to play games, uses it to watch films at the school, it is the same thing. Instead of using the gadgets to play at the school, it is a serious matter. He can be assisted to hook up to YouTube and watch instructional games. He can watch instructional films. He can be taught 1 + 1 = 2. He can be taught many things at any level. Simply speaking, it is doable, it is practicable, and we must encourage it. And like I said, if it is difficult for us to integrate high-tech technology at the primary school, especially those in the rural areas, and because of the financial constraint, don't let it be said that Nigerian pupils have been deprived the opportunity of interacting, of making use of availability of opportunities offered by technology because they are at the primary school level. No, there is no level at which technology cannot be integrated. Mrs. Oloide, I can think of two ways now. Alternatives to power electricity, especially in the face of costs. We will employ school administrators to provide solar. Solar seems more reliable. It seems much more cheaper. And if that is done, teachers will be encouraged, students will be encouraged. In addition to that, managers of schools too should be ready to educate parents, especially those in the public schools. We should be ready to educate parents. We want our pupils to compete favorably with others in the world. We want to integrate technology. Integration of technology involves money. Let's charge a bit, not something that will put parents off. Even if government says don't charge, let us do it in a way as to encourage government to come in to assist, so that a token can be given to our teachers as data allowance, so that whatever amount they spend, at least from their meager salary, something is coming in to as palliative. And like I said, when this is done, I hope that the teachers will have been assisted, as well as the pupils, as the students. And again, we can also designate some areas as technology hubs within the campus, where students will access IT facilities. We can also partner with internet service providers. I don't want to mention names. We can partner with them in a way that we make the services being provided at the cheapest rate, so that our students will not be much constrained in terms of utilization of the technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Digitalization at primary school level is possible. Thank you, Prof. Now, on that note, let's take on Ogunbiyi. Please unmute yourself. You have 30 seconds.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, Prof. Going by your words, Prof, you said if we teach today as we taught yesterday, that we'll rob our children of tomorrow. Fine, you are saying that digital transformation is possible in primary school. Sir, what would you advise we teachers in public primary sectors? Most of the pupils we are teaching, they are technologically illiterate. Even their parents, they don't have these gadgets at home. How do we blend the learning with them, sir? How is it possible? Because to me, I wouldn't want to say that maybe government is not encouraging. But with this, our own kind of pupils, how do we do that, sir, in public primary sector? Thank you very much.
Thank
you. You will recall in my presentation, I also identified the fact that there is a digital divide between the urban and the rural. Talk less of, we also have a kind of settlement that is called urban-rural. Yet you are in Lagos. But we still have some areas within Lagos that we still want to describe as being rural. It is everywhere. It's in Ibadan, it's in Oyo, it's everywhere. Even in London, even in America, they talk of ghetto. But we are talking of these settlements, not in terms of availability of electricity, availability of this and that, but in connection to having gadgets that can be used to promote and to enhance effective usage of technological tools. Yes, we have them, but that should not put us off. That shouldn't put us off. There is hardly any home where you cannot get one person having a phone, cell phone, that can be used for the purpose of communication. But the point we are making is, if we say because many homes don't have, then we are discouraged from using it in our schools, the more problem we are creating. These parents, we say, are poor. Without any apology. Without any apology. And with the fact that I know what I want to say have some social implications. I'm in the air, and we are talking to the world. These same parents, when they have occasions like naming ceremony, they have burial of elderly ones, they know how they go about it. If an assignment is given to a pupil and you ask them, you use a method that will encourage the pupil to go home and encourage the parents to look for a way out, they will. They said, where there is a will, there is a way. Let us encourage, don't let us be dissuaded by accepting that it is a reality. But that should not make us to say in public schools, parents don't have money, students don't have money. Those who have, let me give you an example of one method I used while I was teaching as an English teacher in the secondary school. The name of the school, I keep to myself. When I discovered that most of the pupils did not have the courage to ask questions, to answer my questions, I had 5 rules. I told you I was teaching English language. And in every English language textbook, go and look at it. After the passage, there used to be questions. What I did was, I added more to the questions in the passages. And I divided my students into 5 groups because I had 5 rules. I adopted quiz method. Quiz method. Quiz that you and I are aware of. You know, during quiz competition, a question will be given to a particular contestant. If he answers it correctly, say, yes, you are right, 2 marks. If he doesn't answer it correctly, it's given to another person as a bonus, 1 mark, and things like that. I've started doing that. Because I know those who were good, I deliberately didn't call them. I called those who are weak. And because those who are weak were not happy seeing their group coming third, coming last, you know what they did? Before I will enter into their class, they will have succeeded in assisting those who are weak. So we cannot say that all the pupils in a class of 50, 15 of them don't have phones. If you group them, if you use grouping method, and it is most likely that some of these pupils will come from the same area, even in rural areas, in urban settings. By the time you group them, those whose parents are rich, will find a way of allowing those whose parents are poor to benefit from the richness of their own parents. And of course, we should also find a way as a school who is desirous of integrating technology to set aside a percentage of our profit into acquisition of some of these basic things that we know will benefit schools. We change our libraries from the traditional libraries to educational resource centers. We purchase few technological learning enhanced tools. We equip the libraries with it. And we encourage students to go there during break. You can deliberately create those periods that you call free period for the pupils to go to the library and view films, instructional games, and so on and so forth. I think we should not be dissuaded. Be thinking that because the parents are poor, then he should not encourage us from using technology. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So we have 2 more questions when we close the program, and I would like to read the 2 questions so that you can be able to respond. We have from Dr. Labode. I'm coming, sir. I'm not to read it out. Okay, sir. We have from a name, I think Afe. I don't know whether it's Mr., Mrs., Doctor, or Professor. The question is, what strategies can Nigeria's education regulatory bodies use to remain current with or surpass digital transformation advancement, thereby avoiding reverting to conventional practices during evaluations and assessment of innovative educational institutions? Mrs. Afe, Prof. Sir. And also another question. I think that is all, sir. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And I want to thank the person with the name Afe, whether Miss, Mr. or whatever. That's a very good one. Yes, we have a good number of regulatory authorities. Like we have even the state ministries of education. We have quality assurance unit. We have curriculum unit. We have inspectorate unit. We have the NCCE regulating NCE College of Education programs. We have the MBTE regulating polytechnics and technical oriented programs. We have the NUC, regulating universities program. And we also have some auxiliary bodies, like the TED Fund. All these bodies are aware of the need for institutions to integrate technology. I have been privileged to be part of teams accrediting programs for the NUC. I know emphasis is being placed on availability, usability of ICT, related stuff. And I know the same thing applies to all other regulatory bodies. And I know all institutions are aware of this. But the question, one good thing about the question is that how do we ensure continuity? How do we ensure sustainability? How do we ensure the fact that when you go for accreditation and you discover that the gadgets are there, by the time you leave, are the gadgets that are there being utilized? Institutional heads, head of departments, lecturers, not waiting for another 2 years, 5 years of accreditation before they start putting in some things, and then not falling back into the old ways of doing things. The question is very, very apt. And I want to say that for this to be addressed, there should be need for managers of institutions to have policy, driving policy on ground. If there is no policy document, we'll be wasting our time. We will resort to crisis approach to provision, utilization, maintenance of the gadgets. But if there is a policy, the policy will have highlighted for each institution where we are today, where we want to be in 5 years' time, where we want to be in 10 years' time. And so there should be a kind of internal mechanism that will drive the policy. Let the Internal Quality Assurance Committee, let them take it as a regular, activity. They must go out, maybe thrice in a semester. Let them go and see which department are using technology, which ones are not using. What is the degree of availability of these gadgets? In fact, they can go as far as to awarding prizes to the best faculty. Institutions are being rated globally. Institutions are to be rated nationally. Institutions should have a mechanism, in-house mechanism, that will rate, faculties, that will rate departments, and there must be commensurate reward for the results. I think if and when this is done, it will encourage the staff and students utilization and integration of ICT tools. Thank you. I'm not hearing you.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. But lastly, we want to take Dr. Labode, because it has been sent to me lastly, and that will be the last question for today. Prof, from Dr. Labode, how can students be monitored when online and de-emphasize the issue of unnecessary and prolonged screen time? How can students be monitored when online and de-emphasize the issue of unnecessary and prolonged screen time? Thank you, sir. That's the last question. That will be the last question.
Thank you. Thank you. My reaction to that would be that garbage in, garbage out. The software that is to be used, the LMS, for example, that is to be used, can be designed in a way as to make for opportunity to monitor what students do online, especially if they are confined to the institutional platform. If they are confined to the institutional platform, it is easier to monitor them. The designing of the platform will reflect how many hours a student used. What is it that the students did when he was online? All this can be monitored. The number of questions he asked, the number of responses he has given, the number of correct responses he has given, all this can be monitored through the way the platform is being designed. However, if it is online examination, proctors should be hired, and they should be tutored as to what to be done. They are to monitor what the students are doing. For example, let there be rules governing what you want the students to do, the behavior of the students, and of course, the way the system is also designed. For example, if I am writing an exam, online exam, and I have my face from the system, of course, the features that the camera, the feature that the system that I want to use to write my exam must be stated. Your camera must be working. You are not allowed to leave and say you want to go and use yourself. There must be rules. And when the student contravenes, it is automatic. The system will be conditioned to give the first warning. You are warned. Maybe there will be a green light shown. Second warning. The third warning, the student will be penalized. It can be off. It can be made not to have access to the content again. And of course, it will be booked because there are going to be a report generated. And such a student will have to face the music. That is if, the exam is to be written anywhere, even in the bedroom of the candidate. Alternative to that is that you have designated exam centers where students go, even when they are writing online exams. And there you must have gotten a lot of systems in place. You have invigilators, going up and down. If the students have problem, he has somebody to call upon to come and assist. And of course, there will be CCTV closed circuit television, monitoring what is going on at the exam centers. I must tell you that JAMB does that. And of course, in now, we equally do that. And in most cases, whatever you do that you think it is only you that knows it, you are lying, because they are viewing it elsewhere and they are recording it. And I think if these checks are put into it, and of course we can equally monitor when what do we call it, when a student, because there will be virtual instructional environment, which is to be created by the school. VIE, the virtual instructional environment is created and is devoid of taking the learner outside that virtual environment. Everything he wants to see there are things that are connected to the content you want him to study. Maybe the video is being, integrated. Maybe you want him to go and learn something on the net somewhere. Is being monitored, and the timing is equally being done. And I think by the time you integrate all this, and by the time the school engages those who are experts in what do we call them now, programmer. You have a good programmer that you are working with, and you tell him what you want from him or her. The software can be done in the way as to monitor what the students do, even at the other end. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So over to the moderator of the program, Mrs. Akinleye, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. DK. Thank you very much, Professor Sir. To our audience, we are sorry. Would love to take everybody's questions, but unfortunately, because of our time, we may need to end the question and answer segments there. I would like to call on the chairman of this event, that's in the person of our amiable CEO, Mrs. Adeyoyin Adeshino, for her additional comments and contribution to Prof's lecture. CEO, ma'am. Okay, so while we wait for the CEO to join, us, we would also like to mention for those of us that missed some parts of this and would like to have, I saw some people demanding for the soft copy of the slide. You can access the information on our website. So all you just need to do is go to our YouTube channel, that's Corona College of Education. And you can get the recording of this event there. And you have access to, and for those that would like the slides, I'm sure you can drop your email address in the comment section, and we'll send the slides across to you. All right then. So while we wait for our chairman, would like the vote of thanks to be taken by the chairman LOC in the person of Mrs. Adenike Onofeso. Chairman LOC, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, what a remarkable experience this has been. Today's public lecture has delivered impactful insights and stimulating discussions that we will carry forward. On behalf of the provost, staff, and students of the Corona College of Education, it is my pleasure to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all who made today's lecture on engaging digital transformation across Nigeria's educational landscape a success. Esteemed guest lecturer, Professor Olatunde Salau, for sharing his expertise and insights that have truly enriched our understanding of digital transformation in education. Professor Salau, your dedication, distinguished chairperson, Mrs. Adeyoye Adeshino, CEO of the Corona Schools Trust Council. We are immensely grateful for your graceful and wise leadership. Your invaluable support has truly enhanced today's event. We also extend our sincere appreciation to the members of the College Governing Council and the Trust Council members for their steadfast support, as well as to all distinguished guests and attendees who joined us. Your presence and engagement underscore the importance of this vital topic. To my fellow members of the local organizing committee, thank you for your tireless efforts and teamwork in making this event possible. Lastly, thank you to everyone present. Your participation today brings us closer to a more digitally empowered educational landscape in Nigeria. It is evident that everyone's contributions have truly made this event a success. I encourage everyone to embrace digitalization as it has come to stay. It is the way the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much, Chairman Ellis, Ma, for the vote of thanks. And thank you to our guest lecturer for today. We are honored to have you under your tutelage. And to everyone that took out time of their busy schedule to join us, say thank you. And we hope that our takeaway will be quite helpful in our various fields, from the tertiary down to the nursery, primary, and the secondary level. Thank you very much. And once more, to get acquainted with us, you can follow us on our social media channels for you to get the recorded version of this program. Kindly follow us on our YouTube channel. You can have access to it there as well. Would like to call on Mr. Wahid Abudu for the closing prayer. Mr. Wahid Abudu.
Also, in the name of Almighty Allah, most merciful, the most gracious, all praise and honor belong to Almighty Allah. We talk Almighty Allah for the success of the public lecture. We pray for our guest speaker, Almighty Allah be with him and enrich him more. We pray for our host and our chairman of this public lecture, Almighty Allah be with them, enrich them and bless them also. We pray for the LOC team, Almighty Allah be with them also for their job well done. We pray for all the participants, wherever they are hearing us, Almighty Allah be with them, guide them. Let this lecture be impactful to them, Almighty Allah. We pray for the College of Education and the Corona Schools Council as a whole, Almighty Allah. Let the institution, let the institution continue to grow, Almighty Allah. We pray for our country, Nigeria, Almighty Allah, let our country, let there be peace, let there be unity, harmony, Almighty Allah, and let our country be great again, Almighty Allah. We pray, Almighty Allah. Amen. Al-Fatiha, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم آمين.
Amen. Thank you very much to Mr. White, and thank you very much, everybody. We have officially come to the end of our session, and we look forward to you joining us for the next public lecture. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and bye-bye.